Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Once again I'm here on the beta servers for patch 2.2 and I'm here to take a look at the new player experience. I've started from afresh on this account, and as soon as you get into the game, as you can see, there is a new welcome message here. Now this message gives you a little bit of indication of what you need to do. It tells you you need to head off to Erenin, where a mission is awaiting for you, and when you hand this one in you'll be given 10,000 credits as your bonus reward. And it then goes on to tell you just to simply launch from here, and that they'll then give you another update message once you're en route. Another thing here that has been streamlined is the pre-flight checklist. It's now just a few commands rather than a dozen or more, which does make things a little bit easier. These are just the basic commands that you need to get you on your way. So no more checklists for commands that it's extremely unlikely that a new player is going to use. So why am I doing this? Why am I having a look at the new player experience? Well, Elite is a bit of an intriguing game, but it's also a very difficult game to get into with a huge learning curve. Frontier have clearly recognised this, and they've made some attempts to alleviate it with patch 2.2. If you check out the new tutorial missions here, they are all voice acted and they go a long way to making the introduction period that much easier. However, the game itself can still be a little bit problematic and certainly very overwhelming for the new player. Now this isn't a tutorial by any means. What it is a look at how the game appears when you're starting out from afresh. Experienced players have many workarounds for all the problems that Elite sometimes throws at them, but new players not so much. Here on Zealous Primus then, on the planetary base here, it does look rather fantastic, a lovely little area to start out on. And any minute now we should hopefully get the update message. Yep, there it is. So we'll check it out and see what this is all about, and it should tell us where we need to go and what we need to do. And let's have a look. So now that you've departed from the station, you should head to the Erenin star system. To do this, check your nav panel to the left of your cockpit and you can pilot a hyperspace jump from there. You'll also find the transactions tab there, which will list any open missions that you have, including this one. Now on its own, that's not a whole lot of instructions for a new player, but do keep in mind that this comes after doing the tutorial missions, which the message initially keeps recommending that you actually do. I haven't showed it in this video, but the first problem I had when leaving Zealous Primus after targeting the Erenin system was that the jump destination was actually occluded by the planet, so I had to deselect Erenin and then go into a supercruise to get around to the other side of the planet before I could hyperjump. But anyway, eventually we made it here at a rather gorgeous looking station interior. Just look at that. For the duration of this video, I'm going to do something I don't usually do. As you probably noticed, down in the bottom left hand corner I've got an FPS counter, and that's just to give an indication of what you can expect from performance. My computer is an i7 6700K with a GTX 980. So now we are here. The game has done a good job of getting us from the starting area to the next station, and we can hand in the welcome mission. That will give us 10,000 credits. By no means a lot of money, but sometimes it's enough to get you going. Once the mission board loads up, that is. So once this mission is handed in, I will be looking at the mission board to check out what comes next. Where can we go on our second mission? Because obviously that is, I'm sure, the first thing a new player is going to do. They've handed in this mission here, been congratulated, been given their reward, and look at that, there's a whole load of people over to the left offering some new missions. I wonder what they could possibly be. So far then, no problems at all for the new player. All very easy, all very straightforward and pretty intuitive. That is, until we are hit by the hands of RNG. The first mission giver here says requirements are not met, so I can't take any of those missions. This one here has an available mission. Again, requirements not met, and yeah, one more mission here. Oh, and a donation mission. So, well, as a new player, I'm certainly not going to do a donation mission because I'm not going to be able to do that. So let's go back right up to the top here and have a look at what that first mission was, the first available one. And that is to source 2 units of performance enhancers. Now, I had to have a look here at EDDB, the local website, to find out where they could be found. And unfortunately, the cost of those is 13,000 credits to buy 2 of them, and I don't have enough credits to do that, so it's just as well I didn't accept that mission because I wouldn't be able to do it. So, stepping away for a moment, let's have a look at the passenger lounge. Looking at these, you can see these are paying a very high reward, so maybe we can buy a passenger cabin for our new ship. But unfortunately, we're not able to do that. No passenger cabins here, so, well, not a problem. Let's go back to the mission board. We've obviously got to work our way up to the passenger cabins. We'll take this one for 2 power generators. Now, power generators are very cheap commodities, so I've more than got enough cash to buy them. Let's have a look then at where that mission is located. Again, I had a look at the website EDDB. I'll leave that link for that in the video description below. And it tells me the nearest location is Hay Point in this system here. So going to the galaxy map, I'm going to plot a course there, and we should be there in no time. But unfortunately, we get route plotting failed. In this lowly sidewinder here, we've got no way of getting that distance. So at this point, the mission board and the passenger missions are totally useless to us. So what does that leave us? Well, fortunately for me, I have enough experience to know that bounty hunting is a good source of income for brand new players or new accounts. And a way of doing that is to head off to the local nav beacon. You can find these near all the local main stars within pretty much any inhabited system. The first scan showed a clean ship. The second scan here is of an Asp Scout. This one's wanted, but really that is probably a little bit too much of a high-powered target for a new player, especially if the Asp Scout is equipped with some powerful weapons. Scanning all the rest of the ships, they're all turning out to be clean, so perhaps the hand of RNG hitting once again. A bit of patience though. Just 5 minutes later, after many unsuccessful scans, everyone started turning their attention on this wanted Asp Scout here, so I joined in the fray, attacking it myself, safe in the knowledge that most likely he's not going to turn fire on me. Do keep in mind though that this Asp Scout is merely competent, which means he's not all that powerful, and whilst myself I would have attacked this target instantly upon scanning it, it could be a bit of a problem for a person who's not up to speed with the game. Anyway, there we go, a little bit of money there, 35,000 bounty. I stayed in that area for a bit longer, managed to attack an eagle, getting another 10k, and that was pretty much it. No more wanted ships spawned within that nav beacon. So I left, headed to the local planet, handed in the bounties, and then looked at the mission boards here. And here we struck gold. Look at all these skimmer sentry missions. You can see the rank requirement for this is merely novice, and that all the missions are for the same location, the Acellus Primus Gold legal industry. And for all of them, we've got to kill just 3 skimmers, so hopefully this should be achievable for our new player here. The game of course does a good job of navigating you to the correct location. That's not too hard. So a few minutes later we were well on our way back to Acellus Primus, a different moon though, to find these targets. The mission does pretty much implicitly imply they have to head towards this base. So doing exactly what I was reckoning I had to do, I headed towards that, hoping to find these skimmers as targets, but very much aware that these defense turrets surrounding the entire base could potentially cause quite a huge problem for me. And on top of that, there's a Cobra Mark III making a patrol of this base, and I don't want to draw any attention from any of these. Now again, keep in mind that had it been me, I wouldn't have gone to that base at all, but that's what the mission says, and that's quite likely what a new player would try. But what you really want to do is keep well away from the base and just keep within its territory. Once you've done that, look for a suitable place to land and get out in your SRV. So long as you've got an SRV equipped, to get one of these you need to make sure you start with a Horizon save rather than a new Commander save. And there you saw all the missions. So what we need to do is use the wave scanner to find our target. The wave scanner has lots of different patterns on it, and I'll show you exactly the pattern we need to find some skimmers. We basically need a small cache or a guarded cache of some type, because these are usually protected by skimmers. On occasion it can take a while to find what you're actually looking for. For me on this occasion it was around about 6 minutes or so, not too bad. And you can see now in the top middle of the wave scanner the pattern that we're looking for. I'll link to a website in the video description which will give you some further help with that should you want it. So at the bottom on the radar you can see a security perimeter now coming into range, and as soon as I enter that I will probably be marked as a security threat and therefore activate the defense systems. These usually are skimmers of some type. We're nearly there. And down on the bottom we can see the canisters that are actually should be being protected, but it appears they've rolled down the hill outside of the security perimeter, so no one's actually protecting them. But nonetheless, we're going to go up into the security perimeter here and activate the drones, and there you go, quite a few of them. One of the interesting things about the SRV is that no matter how much money you've got in the game, no matter how long you've been playing the game, everyone has these same SRVs, so no one's got an advantage when it comes to doing missions here, aside from skill and experience, that is. So, as I'm destroying these skimmers, you can see my missions are all getting updated. Fortunately for me, I don't need 3 skimmers per mission, I just need 3 skimmers total. And let's just have a look at some of the messages we received there. All of these basically telling me a good job well done, and that the mission has been completed, and I need to head back to the station to hand the missions in. So, good job there then. The canisters back down at the bottom of the hill are also worth checking out. They contained gold and platinum. Quite a nice find for a new player. And all of these missions are now marked complete, so I can head back and hand them in, and that is exactly what I went and did. Keep an eye then on my credit balance, which was just, 55,000 credits just now. This will start mounting up pretty rapidly right now. And all of this done in much less than an hour from the point of collecting the missions to the point of returning back to the base and handing them back in again. So there are certainly things for the new player to do, and there's certainly plenty of ways of making quite a significant amount of cash this early on. So the really big question is then, does Elite do a good enough job of guiding the new player into the game? Well, the new tutorial missions are a really good start of this, and I've got to say, they do a pretty much exceptional job. And as soon as you get into the game proper, just as you saw at the beginning of this video, you get a nice welcome message and a welcome mission. And this is certainly a far nicer position to be in than the game was in previously. However, once that welcome mission is handed in, just as you saw, the new player is then at the mercy of the RNG. Without any further guidance, this can perhaps be quite a huge problem for a new player to overcome. For some, this challenging difficulty will be the thing that drives them to stay with Elite. For others, they may just get lucky and find some missions like I found here. For others still, they could quite easily be driven away by the perceived unfairness of the whole thing. Whatever the issue though, it's quite clear that Frontier are very conscious of this and are slowly making some progress towards rectifying it. However, perhaps one of the biggest problems to overcome is going to be taming the RNG beast, at least for the new player. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.